Do you want to know the signs of your dua being accepted? You want to know? I'll give you 6. Number 1, you find yourself after you make your dua, you might have one of these or all of them or some of them. Any one of them, even if you have one, that's a sign, inshallah, of acceptance of your dua according to the scholars. Number 1, uncontrollable tears and crying. You find yourself burst into tears. That's inshallah a sign of your dua accepted. Number 2, you make dua and suddenly you get goosebumps. Because Allah mentions it in the Quran, تَقْشَعِرُّ مِنْهُ جُلُودُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. When you hear Allah's words and you call upon Allah, you feel goosebumps. Number 3, feeling of awe and inspiration. After you feel inspired, something's happening. I'm feeling guided. Number 4, feeling of peace and calmness after you had fear and worry. Like being showered or bathed or like a therapeutic massage, you feel like that. Number 5, lightweight, as if something was on your shoulders and it was taken off. And number 6, feeling your iman rise. Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا ذُكِرَ اللَّهُ وَجِلَتْ قُلُوبُهُمْ وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ زَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا. The true believers, the sign of them is that when Allah is mentioned to them, or His verses, their hearts shiver, and when His verses are recited, their iman rises. Brothers and sisters, I mentioned before that dua has an effect on qadr. Qadr means Allah's predestiny. There's something written that's going to happen to you in a negative way. Rasul ﷺ says, the hadith is in Ibn Majah, Tirmidhi and Tabarani, and classed as good and reliable. He said, nothing can increase in your lifespan except for goodness and kindness to those who are around you. Your parents, your siblings, your children, your spouse, your neighbors, animals, everything. Bir, goodness in general. And nothing can prevent bad qadr, calamities, except for dua. And then he said, the qada and dua, the predestiny that Allah has sent down, and the dua will continue to wrestle between the earth and the heavens. And he also said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the dua will benefit you with things that have come down or haven't, meaning of any calamity, any destiny that was supposed to happen to you, bad, things that are not so good, they're meant to happen to you. He says, dua will benefit you with things that have happened, that are happening to you now, the hardship you're going through now, and the hardships that have not yet reached you, meaning in the future. So dua benefits you for what you're going through now and what you may go through in the future. He said, calamities will come down and your dua will meet it, and they will continue to fight until the day of judgment. And the hadith is Rawahu Hakim and authenticated by Shaykh Al-Albani. How does the dua change qadr? Calamities of qadr. Qadr is 2 types. Pre-measurement, predestiny, fate that Allah has written, it's going to happen to you, is 2 types. Number 1, there is a qadr that is set, unchangeable. It's written and it's set. Nothing can change. That's the first type of qadr. The second type of qadr Allah writes, it is preserved in His knowledge, but it is changeable. It's suspended, the mu'allaq, suspended. Suspended by what? Suspended by your dua. Allah tells the angels, this is the qadr that's going to happen to them. When the day comes that the angels Allah tells the angels, this is the qadr that's going to happen to them. When the day comes that the angels have to carry out that qadr, Allah says, my servant has made dua, and I had another qadr that was going to overcome it because of their dua. I made it because of the dua. Now take this dua, take this qadr towards